title after watching this. It definitely gives you this feeling while you're watching it. I mean, the character design is just something else. You already know from looking at these two that things are going to be weird, and it definitely delivers that in that bizarre sort of kind of terrifying ending. Just really cool. Definitely worth checking out.
Characters that are not at all appealing or good looking, and they were kind of rude. I don't know. It was the appearance of the characters was quite interesting. I thought this was an over-the-top depiction of the artist's work. I really enjoyed that they didn't use words or a specific language, and they didn't need it, so it was quite an original take on artists.
I like the transition from artist Angelo to artist Angst. It was cool. For an animation without words, the animator still did an amazing job developing the character. I knew he was angsty. I knew when he was displeased due to his grunts and grumbles. This filmmaker definitely interprets art in an entertaining way, and how the human form changes shape through art, in this case quite literally.
The animation is so distinct in its style and its kind of unique grotesqueness. And the characters communicate in this kind of grunt fashion that almost emulates, it's remindful of the adult characters in Charlie Brown. It has an interesting plot progression, to say the least.
I really loved this grotesque and gritty world they created. The grimy colors, every surface just felt like it had so much dirt and sadness on it in a way, and all of the sounds from both characters sounded like this guttural back the throat sound, which added to that too. There's also a pretty intense level of violence that they created, just with the slashing sounds of the paint and the battering of the body and the molding of his model. I thought it was an interesting commentary on the idea of the male gaze and in art, and how male artists can abuse their muse for the sake of their work.
Interesting, slightly off-center or offbeat film. I really liked it though, because the style of animation was much more gritty, and that really went along with the storyline. So I think that those two things complemented each other in a really fantastic way, because it felt very natural, like with how the story was progressing and like what was going on. The style of animation felt right. It felt like that was what it should look like. That is what it should feel like.
I really liked this one. I liked it from the start, even just the art, when it had the title card, Art is Angst, and the border of the screen was a picture frame. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Cool, different storyline. I definitely had no idea where it was going. So that was a very fun adventure to go on. Like, I couldn't predict it. Like, this woman walked in and just took off her clothes, and I was like, okay, cool. Obviously his final art piece was definitely not what anyone could expect. But it was realistic in the way that, like, there was so much texture to the skin and different like a lot of attention paid to different things. So I thought the creators, the animators, did a really good job, and it was different, and it was creative, and it was unique.
This one is brutal. It's pretty like striking in every regard. Like, the stories, I really like the story. The like kind of like bam bam, like flat trumpet soundtrack is like, it's interesting. It definitely sets a tone. I mean, the most striking thing are like the faces. Like, the style of animation are so hideous and scary and nightmarish. They say so much about the world, and like, they just draw your eye naturally because they're just so absolutely terrifying, and very original. You know, you don't really get to see those very often. And you know, I would love to see what this director and these filmmakers could do with like a crazy budget.